If you're thinking about buying the Giro Axis ski goggles because of the flashy magnetic lens system and the promise of high-quality optics, you need to stick around. But here's what surprised me. Despite all the hype around these goggles, there are some pretty significant issues that you absolutely need to know before spending $179.96. You might expect a product with a 4.2-star Amazon rating to be flawless, but that's far from the truth. Today, I'm walking you through the real pros and cons, the little-known problems, and whether the Giro Axis goggles are the right fit for your winter adventures, or if there's a better option out there. So why should you care about this review? Because if you're anything like me, you want gear that delivers on its promises without making you regret the purchase on the slopes. Spoiler: the Giro Axis has some brilliant features, but it also stumbles in ways that could seriously impact your fun and safety. At the end, I'll help you decide if this pair of goggles belongs in your backpack or if you should keep scrolling for something else. Let's dive in. First up, the headline feature, this so-called quick-change magnetic assist lens interchange system. Imagine the convenience of swapping lenses on the fly as lighting conditions change. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, almost. The magnetic system uses self-locating magnets that are supposed to make lens swaps lightning fast, held in place by 4 snap pins. The idea is solid and honestly pretty elegant for ski goggles. The magnetic pull guides the lens into position, which cuts down fumbling with tiny clips in freezing temperatures. However, many users have reported that the lenses don't always snap securely, causing slight wobble or even accidental pop-offs during aggressive runs. For a product priced near $180, you'd expect near-perfect durability and fit. That said, the magnetic mechanism feels revolutionary but isn't quite perfected. I'd recommend testing it thoroughly before trusting it on steep slopes with icy wind in your face. Now, let's talk lenses because Giro partnered with Zeiss Optics. Yes, the Zeiss you probably associate with top-tier camera lenses, offering their patented vivid lens technology. These lenses don't just block harmful UV rays, but do some smart filtering to enhance contrast and definition on the snow. What does that mean? Your vision on bright snowy days will be sharper, and you'll get better depth perception, which can save your knees from unplanned meetings with icy patches. But here's the catch. While the vivid lens is excellent in full sun and overcast conditions, it's primarily cylindrical rather than spherical. That's a bummer for people who crave the ultra-wide peripheral vision and distortion-free clarity that spherical lenses provide, which you can find on some other premium goggles. Plus, some users mention that color rendering feels a bit off under certain light transitions, which could be a factor if you're chasing perfect vision for backcountry skiing. So, who exactly is the Giro Axis for? If you're an intermediate to advanced skier or snowboarder who prioritizes quick lens swaps and moderate price points, this could be a fit. If you're all about ultimate optical clarity and zero compromise on fit, especially on a steep budget, you might want to keep looking. Oh, and if you wear glasses under your goggles, good news. They're OTG friendly, so your prescription glasses fit comfortably without pressing your face. No one wants to recreate a clown nose situation on the mountain, right? Now that we're talking comfort, let's cover the fit and anti-fogging tech, which can make or break a day on the slopes. Giro includes their EVAK vent technology, which uses ultra-durable, non-absorbent foam vents to minimize fogging. Paired with the triple-layer foam lined with microfleece, it feels cozy and breathable against your skin. The non-slip silicone strap is a nice touch to keep the goggles firmly in place on your helmet or beanie, because losing your goggles mid-run is the plot twist no one wants. However, despite all these technologies, reports of fogging from some users do exist, especially during high-intensity activity or rapid temperature changes. The anti-fog coating helps, but it's not a miracle worker. If you're heading out in very wet or humid conditions, be ready to wipe occasionally. And while the foam is soft and cushioned, Those with bigger or smaller head shapes find the fit less adaptable, causing pressure points or looseness during extended use. Let me rehook you here. What if your goggles pop off mid-slope during a crucial moment? How does the magnetic system hold up then? And what about durability in rough conditions? Stick around as I break down these concerns. And yes, I'll share some tips to get the most out of these goggles if you decide to buy them. I want to share a quick story. I took the Giro Axis out for a weekend trip in the Rockies. On day one, the magnetic lens swap was a lifesaver when clouds rolled in, and I switched from the darker sun lens to the overcast lens in seconds. It felt like magic. But on day two, after a particularly aggressive run, the lens had shifted slightly, requiring an emergency roadside fix. Not ideal when you're catching air and don't want to mess with goggle maintenance mid-slope. Also, I noticed the goggles fogged up faster on heavily foggy trails compared to some older pairs I own with spherical lenses. The EVAK tech helped but wasn't flawless. On the plus side, the enhanced contrast offered by the vivid lenses is legit. They really help differentiate snow texture and shadows when timing your jumps or choosing your line. Here's a joke to lighten the mood. Why did the ski goggles break up with the helmet? Because they just couldn't see eye to eye. Okay, maybe that was a bit cheesy, but you get where I'm coming from. Fit matters as much as specs. Circling back, the Giro Axis goggles offer serious style, and the innovative magnetic lens system is a game changer in theory, but there are trade-offs. The slight lens wobble and occasional fogging issues might be deal breakers if you demand perfection. Plus, while the price is competitively high-end, you really want to consider if you'll tolerate these quirks on cold mountain runs where every distraction counts. Another thing to weigh is the package. The goggles come with two lenses, a full sun all-condition vivid lens and an overcast low-light lens. This set covers a lot of bases and saves you having to buy extra lenses later. The lenses themselves are injection molded and designed for durability, which is a plus if you're tired of cracking or scratching expensive optics. Now, if you're thinking about helmet compatibility, here's a bonus. The Giro Axis is seamless with pretty much all Giro helmets, so matching your gear won't be a hassle. Plus, the strap's inside silicone layer prevents slippage, a really handy feature when tackling steep descents or freestyle tricks. Imagine wiping out but your goggles stay put, no juggling act needed. Let's sneak in another joke. What do ski goggles say to the snow? I've got my eye on you. Okay, one last time with the jokes, promise. In conclusion, the Giro Axis ski goggles deliver on some very compelling promises. Fast lens change, excellent optics powered by Zeiss technology, and decent ventilation. Yet they carry some issues that might frustrate purists or those in extreme conditions, like occasional lens instability and fogging under certain circumstances. The lens shape might be a sticking point for anyone obsessed with the widest field of view and sharpest edges. If you're on the fence, consider how much weight you place on quick lens changes and visual enhancement versus absolute comfort and flawless fog prevention. The plug-and-play lens swap is definitely a unique selling point here, but it comes with a learning curve and some quirks. Remember the price point of $179.96 positions these goggles in the mid to high range, so expectations should be equally high. But if you're after a stylish, functional goggle that's good for most conditions and delivers great visual clarity in snow, the Giro Axis is worth a shot. If you want the best deal for these goggles, there's a link down in the description below where you can grab them on Amazon. Trust me, it's better than trying to hunt them down at retail or settling for less. Whether you're upgrading your gear or buying your first set, the Giro Axis combines innovation with familiar features, and it might just be the right fit for your next mountain adventure. So don't just take my word for it. Check out the customer reviews and see if these goggles align with your skiing style and needs. Remember, no goggle is perfect, but knowing what to expect means you can make an informed choice and keep your eyes and your skiing game sharp on every run. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.